What is going on, everybody? I am in the middle of nowhere. I am literally in the middle of nowhere, but I had to pull over on the side of the road because I just listened to Ben Armstrong break down exactly what happened, brought receipts with everything, showed you exactly who Carlos is, showed you exactly who TJ is. They were colluding, they were in on it together, and the reason that they were in on it was because Ben was getting rid of TJ, and TJ, whose father, by the way, controls all the finances in the company, wanted to use it as an opportunity to blame Ben for illegal money somehow. They didn't really say anything, they just kind of faked their way through it. And they attacked a man while he was at his weakest point, where they had attacked his company and shut him off from everything. And not only did this stuff happen under the nose of Tricky Nicky DeMondi, not only did that happen, but he came out and put out a video. Now, I don't know what was in that video because I don't watch Nick DeMondi. I'm not an idiot. Like, who watches Nick DeMondi? Nick DeMondi made a video? Who cares? If you're not on the hit networks, nobody cares what you did. So I have no idea what his video said, but it was something about, oh, you crossed the line when you got my family involved. 2 weeks ago, you guys went to Ben Armstrong's house and got his family involved. You don't care about family. You can pretend you care about family all you want. You don't care about family. You care about yourself. You care about whatever TJ wants you to care about. Because if you cared about family, you would have walked out of hit networks the moment they walked over to the family. But instead, you didn't, and then you called me a liar. Why? Because you didn't personally go there. Because you're the weak stick in the company. So Nick, keep your mouth shut. Don't talk about me anymore. It's okay. Be a big boy. Use your axe, cut some trees down, do whatever stupid stuff you want to do in the woods with whatever it is that you do while you're out in the woods doing wood stuff. But back to Carlos, who came into my chat telling everybody to stop investing in Ben while they were selling off on the Ben chart. Why? Because they wanted to manipulate Ben. They wanted to create another moment of weakness. They wanted to work on him. And you know what? It was effective because you got other people believing, because you had other people buying the BS. Then TJ gets on this call, won't say physical violence. He says, when you attacked me. Well, he was attacking you, telling you you were quitting, right? And that was when Carlos physically attacked Ben, right? But that's okay, because there's receipts. Now, that brings us to, I guess, right about now. After he got off the phone with TJ, Carlos called. Carlos had to have been standing there. Otherwise, TJ was telling him about business that he can't be talking about. TJ couldn't be talking about what's going on between two owners of a company, could he? TJ also could talk about anything that he wanted, because guess what? There's nobody, quote unquote, investigating. Well, there wasn't, but there will be pretty soon. If you don't remember, and for those of you that don't know, Tim Shed, who is TJ's dad, lost $3 million of Hit Network's money on Celsius. Did Tim fire his dad? Did TJ fire his dad for losing $3 million? No, he absolutely did not. And let me take you down a step and into a place that Ben himself might get mad at me for over this one. But I'm going to tell you guys, and then we're going to see where that goes. I talked to Ben and I talked to Cassie one night, and they were in a hotel room. Do you know why they were in a hotel room? Because they were running for their lives, because they thought that Carlos was out to kill them. Now, is that true? I don't know. Here's what I know. I know that they had moved hotels. Do you know why I know they moved hotels? Because Carlos showed up at the hotel that they were staying at. Do you know why? Because they had air tags on them and they were being tracked by Hit Networks. Now, if you didn't know that before, and Ben, if you didn't want people to know that, I apologize, but I think that that's pretty important to know, that these people were tracking Ben and Cassie so that they knew their whereabouts at all time, so that they could go knocking on their doors. That's called harassment. That's called intimidation. So then I start talking to them, and Ben seems to think that he has to flee the country because somebody's trying to kill him, and it's somebody who works at the Hit Networks, somebody named Carlos, that he thinks is trying to kill him for a guy named Justin who runs an NFT company, and he doesn't understand what's going on. Now, this is a moment of weakness for Ben, and Ben doesn't have very many moments of weakness. He usually operates from a position of strength, so I'm telling you something, again, that he might not appreciate me revealing. But Ben, I apologize again that I'm doing this, but he was fearing for his life that night. He was in a panicked state. When I started talking to him about what his reasonable options were, he was in the background in a panicked state. And I won't say what he was doing, but he was panicking. He was having a panic attack as we were having a conversation, to the point where you could hear him having trouble breathing because the situation for him was that dire and that serious, and he was convinced that people were trying to kill him. So we'll move on from that. But needless to say, a few hours later, that's when some other stuff happened where he felt like maybe there was going to be a road back. That's where the mediation came into play, by the way. And that's when he thought that Dave, the Jesus guy, was going to be helpful and was actually going to be fair and impartial, and that he wasn't going to try to do a hit job on Ben, that he wasn't negotiating with TJ, that he wasn't doing something there. Because listen, there are moral values that you might question, certainly Christian principles that you could question when everything played out the way that it did, but none of it's illegal. None of it was illegal. So let's establish that. That's not a reason to lose your company. Neither is having an argument with a minority holder in your company. That's not a reason to lose your company. Now, what's happening is they've tried to steal the company like thieves. They've tried to steal the company, and do you know how they're going to fix it? They've now started questioning employees to try to come up with plausible reasons to retain control of the company. Now, here's the thing. At the end of this, they're not going to win. Do you know why they're not going to win? Because they're garbage. They're worthless. They don't matter anymore. Nick Diamandi, I told you I wasn't going to talk about you anymore, but Nick Diamandi has managed to take Hit Networks in a week from 700 viewers to 600 viewers to 500 viewers to 400 views consecutive, while Ben Armstrong is on a different channel. Nick, I got a guy at Fiverr, and if you call him, he'll get you like 1,000 views or something, and I'm sure he'll charge a reasonable price, and then you'll at least be able to look like you're doing something. So, Hit Networks, everybody who believed Hit Networks, everybody who thought, oh, blah, 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 that it was Ben Armstrong that was the problem this whole time. Shame on some of you. If you did it for content engagement, you did what you had to do. If you did it because you actually believed, you're an idiot. This was not financial advice. My name still believes, and you can bet your ass I'm always right.